So on today's episode of Building a Studio, we are making a soundproof door for next to nothing. And when I say next to nothing, it's cheaper than the alternative. Compared to my old studio I had in Arizona, this studio does have a bit of an echoing issue. This particular mic, you can't hear the echo because this microphone is like studio awesome and it really cuts down the echo factor. But when I'm filming with the green screen, I get a little bit of echo, and it has nowhere near as much soundproofing in this room as it did the last studio. But the last studio, I felt like I was in an insane asylum because all the walls and the ceiling was all foam. Sounded really good, but felt crazy. This studio, I think I'm eventually probably going to end up having to go that way, at least with the ceiling. I only did a small portion.
So you start out with some 2x4s and make it the same size of your door frame. That's going to cost you about $6. And the hinges, if you already have the door, there you go, you got the hinges. If not, I got these just out of the garage, rusted up. And then I got some pins. I got bronze style from Amazon, $10 for a massive box. You're never going to use them all. Then I just try to evenly space them out. I did a better job on the front side than the back side. Start with the back side before you do the front side to get your practice going. And just use needle nose pliers to hold them so you don't smash your little fingers, and smash them in with a hammer. And then once you get the thing framed out, there you go, you just cut it. And in case you're wondering, this is a curtain I got off Amazon for $55. So 55, 10, 6, we're talking less than $100. And then for the edges, so you don't have to do any sewing, you just fold it over and then stretch it tight. It is a little bit stretchy fabric, which is nice. And then if you have any wrinkles, you can just pull a pin out and then pull it even tighter and then put the pin back in. It's pretty forgiving. And you can make it as precise as you want. I wasn't too worried about it because this is a functional door for me, and for the most part, you're never going to see it on camera, except for this moment right here, of course. Once I got to the end, I had a little bit of a pocket there I had to work out, and so just pulled a couple pins and then pulled it tight to the right and then also above, and then repinned it. And eventually it worked it out. For the most part, there's a little bit of a wrinkle there, but who cares? Get a lint roller and make it look all purty. So then the guts, what we put inside the door that's going to actually make it soundproof, is Rockwell insulation. This is R15. They do have a version called Safe and Sound, but this was what I had available. Safe and Sound might be a little bit better, but I think they're pretty darn close. And so you just cut it to size and snug fit it, so you don't even have to glue it or anything. And then we're going to just repeat what we did on the back side on the front side, and that's going to seal everything in nice and well. Start off in the corners. For some reason, I struggled with getting the wrinkles removed out of the front more than the back. And then also I learned for the front, I need to try to be a little bit more intentional on the spacers. So first I did the Sharpie and a tape measure to get it spaced evenly. And then I decided to just gauge it off of the needle nose pliers where it's at compared to where it was before. If that makes any sense, probably not, you'll see. I think I had more wrinkles this time because I just drove up one side, and so it's probably going to be better if you pin all 4 of your corners snug and then work on going up one way. And then the bottom of the curtain is already hemmed, so I went ahead and used that so that part doesn't have to be folded over. Make sure you give yourself enough slack. The last thing you want to do is cut it too short and then you just ruined your entire curtain. If you want, you can also paint the 2x4s or stain them, whatever you prefer. I chose just to leave mine in the natural state. I suppose I should have stained them to make them match the movie closet, but oh well. If you see at the very top, you'll see a small gap where it's about 1 inch spacing between the insulation and the 2x4. I left that gap there for a couple reasons. One, because I was lazy and I didn't want to have to cut a custom thin little piece. And then two, I thought it would be good for ventilation so it doesn't get too hot in the server closet. If you don't have a bunch of hot electronics on the other side of your door, I would say close off that final little gap if you have it. But that's an important thing to remember. It doesn't just block the sound, it also blocks the heat. So if you're trying to keep the heat in or out, it works for that as well. And the grand finale, I have to say, this actually turned out way better than I thought it would. I thought this was going to be a total disaster. But I'm quite happy with it, and I'm glad I didn't spend thousands of dollars for a soundproof door. Then right here is a perfect example of getting a couple of wrinkles in your project. Don't freak out. You just rework them and poof, they go away. And you can rework them as much as you want.
And that thing helps a lot with the sound reduction from the echo, which is what we're trying to kill here, and the noise and echo. And so this door actually works for both ways. It's going to help absorb sound, so it's going to reduce the echo, and it is going to stop the sound from the other direction, so it's going to stop the noise. This was a win, and I have to say it looks great. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you in the next video.